Hi, I'm Ezelle from The Upcoming. Lovely to meet you. Congratulations on a fantastic film.
Thank you.
So can you tell me a little bit about where the story came from and how long the process was to get it to screen?
The story came to me ages ago when I was first year at university at film school, like around 20 years ago, and I literally wrote it down. You know, when I was in my early 20s, the same age as the main characters in the film. I wrote it down as a one-pager, and it was on. You know, I thought it would, and at that point it was a much simpler idea, and I thought it would be a great first feature. Obviously, my first feature ended up being another film, Under the Shadow. And then after that, I was like, what should I do? I went and looked at my, old ideas, and I found this one page, and I thought, oh, this is very timely and relevant. Maybe I can start, building, turning this into a script. Yeah, and now here we are.
And with regards to the casting process, were you very specific about who you had in mind, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, I always have like people in my mind when the casting starts. When we're about to send the script out to cast, I have specific ideas of who would be perfect for it. For instance, George Mackay always, really was picturing Toby as George Mackay, and I'm so blessed that I managed to, work with him. And same as Hugh Bonneville, I really wanted someone that, people don't expect, to do such a role, and same with Kelly Macdonald, massive fan of Kelly. So yeah, when it comes to casting, that's when I start to think about who would be perfect for the roles, really.
And also, you've got music by Ezelle Waller-Bridge. I mean, how was that collaboration with her? I mean, it really adds a real atmospheric tone to the film.
Oh, thank you. Ezelle Waller-Bridge did a wonderful job. I actually got to meet Ezelle after my first feature, and we were saying we should collaborate. And then when this opportunity came, I asked Ezelle if he would be keen, and she read the script. And again, I'm so lucky that she said yes. And one thing I love about Ezelle is that she always thinks out of the box. I mean, with her music for Fleabag, and obviously even when she does music for period dramas like Emma, she genuinely does it differently, and that's what this film needed. And I think she did a wonderful job capturing bringing the old and new sort of together, the more old side of London and the more diverse, and with the more diverse new side. Yeah, I think she did a wonderful job.
And also, obviously, it's based in London, so there's a real London landscape to this. But also, it talks a lot about class, and we've got vandalism with criminal, that kind of thing. So, what are some of the key themes in your film that you want viewers to take from it?
Sure. I think the biggest theme in the film is for me is how institutions can fail us as individuals, and I'm not talking about just about big institutions like police or the government. It also are on a smaller level, our families, friendship groups. And I guess the big question is that, well, if big institutions are failing us, then shouldn't we have each other's backs and try to make the smaller institutions work? I guess that was the heartbeat of the story for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess the quick log line is I Came By is about this young rebel without a cause, graffiti artist played by George Mackay named Toby, and he and his friend, they break into homes of the elite or the wealthy and tag their wall, I came by. It's their way of saying we're watching you. And then Toby, played by George Mackay, breaks into the wrong house, which is owned by Sir Hector Blake, played by Hugh Bonneville, and then things starts unraveling from there, and it affects his relationship with his friendship with Jay, played by Purcell Ascot, and his relationship with his mother, played by Kelly Macdonald. So yeah, exactly that everyone's just used to the affable sort of huggable Hugh Bonneville, and everyone knows Hugh Bonneville from his comedies and Downton and Paddington, and family films. So I just wanted for the role of Hector Blake, I wanted someone that the audience haven't, like, you know, an actor that the audience haven't seen doing such a role before, and Hugh is perfect for it. And, you know, in the script, I even describe Hector Blake, I think it's like British Mr. Rogers' first line. And, you know, that's why I always wanted Hugh, and I'm so blessed that he came on board. Yeah. I guess I'm a very intense, dark man. Now, I guess I'm a massive fan of thrillers and genre films, and Alfred Hitchcock, obviously The Master, which I took a lot of inspiration from. These type of films always excite me when I'm watching it, like the experience of watching it. So, you know, and London is such a wonderful city to do a neo-noir in it. And that was like initially my pitch, is I want to do a neo-noir, you know, like Americans do it really well, Europeans, South Koreans, Japanese ones. I want to do it in Britain. I want to do a Hitchcockian neo-noir in Britain. You know, so yeah, I guess that was exciting because nobody expected to see him doing such a role, and he is so great in it. I mean, like, you know, everyone's so used to Hugh. You know Hugh. Everyone knows Hugh from his like comedies and family films, and Downton, of course. So it was just like perfect choice for me because the character of Hector, the whole point of it is that he's seemingly very charming, very nice, and a do-gooder, so you know, he's the last person you expect to have such a dark, mysterious side. I hope they enjoy the roller coaster and they be a little bit more hopeful and care more about their friends and families and having each other's backs in a world that like is constantly paranoid that the institutions are failing us, the big institutions. It's all about us like, having each other's backs and our responsibilities towards one another. Every project has its own challenges. There are like obviously overlaps, like, but this one, the biggest thing is that London is home for me, and it's the first time that I actually got to shoot the film at home and go to sleep in my own bed at night. And you know, if it was up to me, I would shoot everything in London or in the UK now. So that was like the biggest plus. Yeah.
Best city in the world?
Best city in the world, indeed. I love it. Filmmaking is all about challenges. You know, I guess that's the weird masochistic side that, like, you know, we filmmakers, we love these challenges. We love problem solving. So it wasn't anything extreme. It's just the usual stuff. But like for instance, one of the big challenges was shooting a film, a neo-noir film, which a lot of it was set at night in the middle of summer in London. So you know, that was tricky, but I had an amazing team who backed me, and we managed to make it work. At this stage, I tried to avoid because they're still coming, and so I'm trying to avoid them. You know, and I want the audience to enjoy it, the film as it is. So, yeah, eventually I will go through them.